Welcome to lesson 7.2, translations. So our objective for today, of course, is I can draw the image of a figure under a translation. So think to yourself, what is a translation? We talked about this a little bit before, right? A translation is when you slide an object. And that's about it, right? You're sliding it. You can move it up. You can move it down, left, right, sideways, completely up to you. As long as you just slide it. You're not picking it up. You're just sliding, right? So here we have our little chart that we're going to fill out. So the type of transformation that we're working with is a translation. So we're going to write translation here. And what is it? Well, it's a sliding an object, right? So what does that look like? An example, I'm going to say I have this triangle, but I want my triangle to be down here. So I'm just going to slide it. Easy as that, right? Is size preserved? So if I take an object and I just slide it, is it the exact same size? Absolutely. Absolutely, right? Is orientation preserved? What that means is if this point is the tip of my triangle here, and this point is the tip of my triangle there, is it preserved? Is it still at the tip at the top? Absolutely. So yes, it is preserved, right? So remember, when size is preserved, that means that the angles are the same and the side lengths are the same. Okay? All right, so let's flip the page. Let's take a look at an example. So our class example, we are going to find the coordinates of the image of the parallelogram ABCD after a translation of 5 units up and 3 units to the right. All right, so first we have to graph this parallelogram. So let's take a look. Point A is the point 1, 2. So I'm going to mark it. Make sure you write an A there, okay? Point B is the origin. So I'm going to mark the origin with a point. B is 0. So I'm going to mark the point 1, 2, 3, 0, and that's C. And D is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2, 1, 2. So D is right here. All right, so now it's a parabola, or a, Miss Wall, it's a parallelogram, hello. All right, so now we have our parallelogram. And now we need to translate it 5 units up and 3 units to the right, right? Super easy. Here's what we do. You ready? We take each point. So let's start with A. It wants it to go 5 up, so we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and then it goes to the right 3. So keep your marker there. It goes to the right from there, 1, 2, 3. So now point A is over here, and that's the image of A. So that's going to be A prime. Okay. Next, let's do B. We have to go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. So that means B prime is going to be right here. C, we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right 1, 2, 3. Now here's my question for you. If you know that B and C are 3 apart, could you have just counted 3 over from B prime to do C prime? Absolutely, right? Because side length is preserved. So here, I could do D, and I could go up 5 over 3. Or I could just know, well, D is 3 away from A, so D prime is going to be 3 away from A prime, right? Because you know that that length is preserved, you're allowed to do that. So now we have these points, right? So think about it. What actually happened here when we took it and we slid it up 3 or up 5 and over 3? Well, our A coordinate, all we did for A is we went up 5, right? Which means we added 5 to the Y value. And it went to the right 3, which means we added 3 to the X value, right? So I just want to show you something cool here. So you can do it by counting up and over if you want, or you can think to yourself, A changed, it was 1, but because it went to the right 3, the X value changed by going plus 3. My Y value was 2, but I went up 5, so my Y changed by going up 5. So when we do this, we get our new value is 4, 7. Let's see if we did this right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got it, right? A prime is the point 4, 7. So you can either take the points and slide it up by counting up 5 over 3, or just by adding 5 to the Y value because you're going up 5. and adding 3 to the x value because you're going over 3, that gives you your new points as well. Completely up to you which way you want to do it. Okay, so if I look at C, C prime looks like I went to the right 3, so it's going to be 6, and then we went up 5, so it's going to be 6, 5. And lastly, D, it looks like D is up over 3, so it's going to be 7, and then up 5. The point is 7, 7. So another way of thinking of it for this transformation, we took the point x, y, and for each point, we added 3 to the x value because we went to the right 3, and we added 5 to the y value because we went up 5. So if you wanted to just write this rule and do it, you totally could, or you could plot the points and count up and over. All right, so if AD is 3 units long, which it is, then how long is A prime D prime? Well, it's also 3 units, right? Because size is preserved, right? Length is preserved. They are congruent, right? AD is congruent to A prime D prime, which means that it's also going to be 3 units. Perfect. All right, now it's your turn. I want you to take a moment. I want you to plot this parallelogram, do the same thing, translate it the best you can, and figure out if angle A is 100 degrees. If we just slide that down, what's angle A prime going to be? So go ahead, take a moment, pause the video, work on that. Please raise your hand to get checked when it's done. Go. All right, welcome back. Let's look at example 2. So example 2 is going to be very similar fashion, only this time it's a triangle. So I want you to go ahead and work on example 2. Afterward, I want you to state if the sides are congruent and if the angles are congruent. Okay, please raise your hand to get them checked with me when you are done. All right, welcome back. So 3 looks like it's a little bit different. It doesn't have where we take the points to begin with and move them to the next one like our last couple examples. So instead, what you're going to have to do is read the question and mark some key points that you want on here. So I'm going to mark these pivotal points, right? And those are going to be my points that I physically move up and it looks like to the right based on this problem. So if they don't give you the points like it did in the prior examples, create your own points and move those, okay? So go ahead and pause the video, work on that for me. Raise your hand to get checked when you're done. All right, let's look at this last one, right? So for this one, I also want you to translate it for me. Tell me if the shapes are congruent and how you know. Raise your hand to get it checked, and when you're done with that, you'll do another activity. All right, bye.